So ito, last problem natin for today. So a 4 meter W12 by 96 50 KSI steel is used as a beam column in a braced frame. So sinabi dito, braced frame siya. So meaning we wouldn't be considering this P delta effect right here. Okay, so it is bent in a single curvature with equal and opposite end moments and is not subjected with intermediate transverse loads. So, is the section adequate if PD is equal to, ayan, basahin yung mga loadings niya, then CB is equal to 1, then we are to use LRFT here. Okay, so paano ba tayo magsimula? So, by the way guys, meron na pala tayong PC, no? So, sinolve na to beforehand para lang mas maiksi yung time natin. But for example, na hindi nyo pa nasosolve to, you would be watching our previous pre-recorded lecture about this. So, yung analysis natin ng compression member. So, your Pn right here multiplied by phi or divided by omega is to be your PC. So, ayun. Para lang mabilis tayo dito, sinolve na yung PC beforehand. And as well as for your LP and your LR. So, itong LR na to, ito yung medyo mahaba-haba. And ito yung may J, ito yung may C, and whatsoever. And itong LP na to, that is to be 1.76 Ry times the square root of E over Fy. So, ayan. So, ano ba? What to do? Okay, so kung wala kayong maisip, mag-load combinations na lang muna tayo. So, PR. So, for our PR, that is to be, ano ba yung mga P's natin? So, that is to be 780 kilonewtons and 1335 kilonewtons. So, since we are to use LRFD, our factors here would be 1.2 times dead load, which is 780, plus 1.6 times times live load of 1335. Wait lang, live load ba sabi ko kanina? By the way, dead load plus live load, 1335. So, piece of R is equal to, so yung calculator ko, okay, 1.2 times 780 plus 1.6 times 1335. So, 3072 kilonewtons. So, this is to be the value for our PR. And for us to determine what equation we would be using, so once again, we would be getting the ratio of our PR over PC. And itong PC pala na to, naisama na dito yung ating value na phi. So, yan na yung PC natin. So, PR, that is to be 3072 kilonewtons divided by 408.08 kilonewtons, and our answer here would be, so 3072 divided by 4804.08, that is to be 0.639. So 0.639, and it is definitely larger than that of 0.2. So meaning, if we are to consider this formulas right here, ang mag-govern dyan is this one on the top. So, yung merong 8 over 9. So, yan yung gagamitin nating formula. Okay, so we would be using this once again. Ganon. Anyway, ito na lang lahat i-copy ko. So, for a while guys, para mas convenient yung ating pag-solve. So, ito, copyhin ko na lang dito. So, I would just be writing our known values here for our PR. That is to be 3072 kilonewtons. And for our PC, that is to be 4804.08 kilonewtons. So, I would now be erasing this para next na tayo. So, what else? Since you already know PR and PC, so, by the way guys, PR is equal to PNT plus betas of 2 times, saan na natin minultiply yung betas of 2? sa PLT. So, PLT. Pero wala tayong second term na to since our frame is braced. So, since we wouldn't be experiencing lateral translation kahit wala na to. So, from that, this is to be your PR. But take note guys that in order for us to solve for the moment here, okay, so ayan, ito yung gagamitin natin for our MR. So for our MR, that is to be betas of 1 times MNT. And once again, our frame is braced, so we wouldn't be needing this second term right here. So for MR, that is equal to betas of 1 times MNT. And our MNT is equal to, so 1.2 times 80, which is this, then plus 1.6 times 80, which is this. So same sila, no? And our answer for MNT would be 1.2 times 80 plus 1.6 times 80. So there, our answer here would be 224 kilonewton meter. Or pwede ding 1.4 dead load. So 1.4 times dead load is 1.4 times 80. That is to be 112. But as you can see here, this is less than 224. So malayong-malayo yung sagot natin sa 224. So this 224 right here would govern. Then after that, MNT. So let's solve for betas of 1 already. So for betas of 1, kopyahin ulit natin itong mga to para makita nyo along the way saan ko pinagkukuha ang aking mga formulas. So ito. So lagay natin dito. Then ito lagay natin dito. So ayan. Can you see this guys? By the way? Itong betas of 1, mabasa nyo ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ayan. Let's solve for betas of 1. So, by the way, let's solve for Cm first. So, for the value of Cm, that is to be 0.6 minus 0.4 times M1 over M2. And our M1 over M2 is equal to 80 and 80. But it is said here that it is bent in a single curvature. So meaning this is to be a negative curvature. So pwedeng positive, negative yan, or pwedeng baliktad, negative, positive. Basta ang importante, the whole of this is equal to negative. So negative yan. And solving for this, so 0.6 minus 0.4 times negative 1, that is to be equal to 1. Kung ayaw maniwala, calculator natin. So 0.6 minus 0.4 times 80 divided by 80 times negative 1. So that is to be positive 1. So yun yung Cm natin. So we already have our Cm. We already have our PR. Our alpha here. Teka, asan ba yun? Our alpha here. So alpha. So this alpha right here is equal to 1.00 since we are to use LRFD. But if you are to use ASD, that is to be 1.6. And as for PE1, so that is the Euler's buckling stress resistance. So ano nang ginagawa ko? Okay, ito. So for PE1, that is to be pi squared EI. So E IX divided by KL. And our L here is equal to 4 meters. So 4,000 mm. And if you would be looking at the table before, so dun sa mga values natin ng K, so if your member is braced, if your beam column is braced, your K is equal to 1. So lagay ko dito, no, para important to. K is equal to 1.0 since it is said here that it is braced. Okay, so solving for this, so our E is equal to 200,000, our IX is equal to this. Ewan ko nababasa nyo, but it is equal to 347 times 10 raised to 6. So pi squared times 200,000 times ix. 347 times 10 raised to 6. So, divided by 4,000. Kung may nakalimutan na ako, KL squared pala to. So, I would be squaring these terms right here. Okay, so our answer here would be 42809,409. So, 42809,409.09 newtons. So, ayan. Shift store ko na lang to sa A. So, shift store A. Kasi ang haba eh. Anyway, so this is to be stored in variable A. Ano yung kailangan natin? So, we need this. And we also need this value right here. So, this is to be for our PE1. And for our PR, we have solved for this already. So, copy ko ulit dito. So, we already have PR. And our alpha is equal to 1.0. So, solving for betas of 1. So, yung CM natin kanina, that is also equal to 1. So, this is to be 1. So, 1 divided by 1 minus our alpha is 1 times PR over PE1. And our PE1 is equal to A. And our PR is equal to 3072. So, 3072. But since this is in kilonewtons, multiply natin ng 1,000 para maging newtons siya. So, solving for this, our answer here would be 1 divided by 1 minus 3072 times 1,000 divided by alpha A. So, this is to be our magnification factor, which is 1.08. So, since we already have 1.08 here, or betas of 1, multiply lang natin siya sa nakuha nating MNT, which is this. So, let's multiply it here for us to get the value of MRX. So, MRX 1.08 times what would be our MNT. So, that is to be 224. So, equals. So, our answer here would be, sa calculator ko naman, so 1.08 times 224. So, our answer for our MRX is equal to 241.92 kilonewton meter. So, if we are to check this formula once again, so lakihan ko para mabasa nyo ulit. So, we already have the values of, wait lang, ano na yung nag-govern dito? So, yung neto nasa taas pala, no? So, we already have the values of PR and PC. We already have the value of MRX. We don't need the value of MRY and MCY, and we are now left with the value of MCX. So, for us to solve for the value of MCX, so once again, paulit-ulit natin kinokopya itong formula na to sa next slide. So, itong data na to. And since it is said here that 4 meters once again ang ating LB, and our LP here is equal to 3.327, and our LR is 14.2. So 4 meters is in between both of these values right here. So it means that our frame is undergoing zone 2 or with lateral torsional buckling. Kailan ko pa explain yan, guys? Intindihan nyo naman, no? Kung bakit zone 2?
Yes, sir.
How about for the others? Miss Pasol, kuha. Kung bakit zone 2?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Parilyaga, kuha.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ayan, zone 2 na tayo. So diretso na tayo dito sa formula na ito. So let's copy and paste para hindi kayo mawala. So ayan. So since we are to consider this, so our our CB is equal to 1 once again, and our plastic moment is equal to FYZX, and our ZX here is equal to 2410 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. And as for Fy, ano ba Fy natin sa problem pala na to? Our Fy here is that of 50 KSI steel. And 50 KSI steel is equal to 345 megapascals. So, i-convert nyo na lang, no? So, once again, 50 times 6.895. So, that is to be 6.895 I should say. That is to be 344.75. So, I would be using 345. And from that, our plastic moment would now be equal to, so 2410 times 10 raised to 3 times 345. So that is to be equal to 83145.0000. So I would just be storing it once again to A. So, ayan, 83145,000. Okay, so 83145, 50,000, I think. 50000, okay. Newton millimeter. So, for us to solve for the value of Mn, so that is to be Cb, and Cb is equal to 1.0 times Mp. So, i-store ko na siya sa A, no? So, A minus A minus 0.7 times Fy, which is 345, times Sx, and our Sx would be 2150 times 10 raised to 3 times Lb minus Lp. So our Lb, okay, nakalimutan yung Lb natin, 4 meters pala. 4 meters, then copyin ko ulit to, baka makalimutan ko yung Lp and Lr natin. So, ayan. Our LB is equal to 4 meters. So, 4 meters minus LP, which is 3.327 divided by 14.2 minus 3.327. So, direct substitution. So, from here, our value for our nominal flexural moment would now be equal to, so 1 times parenthesis A minus, parenthesis again, A minus 0.7 times 345 times 2150 times 1000. So, closing parenthesis times 4 minus 3.327 divided by 14.2 minus 3.327. So, our answer here would be 812.12, etc. And if I would be dividing this by 1 million, so divided by 1,000 divided by 1,000. So, this is its equivalent in kilonewton meters. Nasunod ba dun guys sa pag-convert ko? Or kailan ko pa explain?
Gets mo, sir.
Okay, as for the others. Okay, so ayan, diretso na tayo sa Mn. And since you already have the value of our Mn, ano ba yung gagawin natin? So, for our MCX, that is to be equal to phi Mn. And phi is equal to 0.9. And from that, our answer here would be, so I would just be multiplying our answer here in the calculator by 0.9. So from that, our Mn would now become 730.91. So 730.91 kilonewton meter. So there. And I think we're now complete. So meron na tayong PRPC, meron na tayong MRX, MCX, and di natin kailangan tong MRY, MCY. Okay, so solving for such, so i-summarize natin dito, no? So ang PR natin a while back, so PR is equal to 3072 kilonewtons, and ang PC natin was already given, and our that is to be 4804.08 4804.08, and our MRX, so ito yung in-increase natin by betas of 1, so it would be 241.92 So 241.92 kilonewton meter. So this is to be kilonewtons also. And as for our MCX, so ito yan, 730.91. So 730.91 kilonewton meters. So if I am to copy this, substitute natin, no? Since we would be using this formula right here, substitute ko na agad. 3072 kilonewtons divided by PC, which is 4804.08 kilonewtons, plus 8/9 times MRX, which is 241.92 kilonewton meter, divided by 730.91 kilonewton meter. So this would cancel out and this would cancel out, and our answer here would be equal to 3072 divided by 4804.08 plus 8/9 times 241.92 divided by 730.91. And our answer here would be equal to 0.934. And it is less than 1.0. So meaning our section, which is, so I forgot our section, but our section is adequate. So ganun lang siya kadali, guys. So do you guys follow, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yan.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So yun lang naman yung problem natin for today. O Mr. De Los Santos, kuha ba?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Miss Abrahano, kuha?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So very good. Miss Nagulman, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Miss Laida, kuha?
Yes, sir.
Miss Bulay, kuha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if there are no more questions, so by the way, are there any questions? Everyone? Anyone? Miss Pentecostes? None, sir. Okay, so if there are no more questions, you are now dismissed. So thank you everyone for your participation.